Everyone stand up, and could you also bow, please, to show respect. Just don't stand up there straight, okay? So, and yes, when we offer as well. So this is how you do it.
So we give the kata towards him, and you're not actually putting this on him, okay? He will put it on you. So don't try to put kata on Rinpoche. He will.
Yes.
You just offer it very gently like this. And
Yep.
then he'll put it on you, and then after that you move on over here, and you receive blessings from Khenpo. He'll give you one of these lovely necklaces. That's what you get to take home. And then my sister will give you a little piece of prasad as well, okay?
And then after that, you make your way out for the picture.
Yeah, and we
just ask about your education, what are you doing, and then I just informed him that there are some younger students and elder students in the middle also, so everybody is in the studies, and maybe some of you like me.
저는 맞아 너무 이도 가버려.
네.
저도 아무도 그런 근데 돈이 너무 손님이 추주를 제대로 이제 저다 인사님 대입 꾸줘야 돼 말아보셔야 돼 저라까지 뭐 가르쳐도 이제 가서 보여도 내봐도 로지 레지 이제 가도 가시면다 레지가 그거 되니 zonde 손님 담아 답을 되니 다들 잘라 노노노나 로산산 단지 너무 손이 받대 너 티바 체비 konuşulduğunda yaşadaydı. Zamanı imajından millet'in ravi masını insanı cümse işler yok. Tek med kavalle sonra zamanı kavalle zamanın mesela dilemez mesela zamanın etwa yamarı. Kavalle ne yetin diye zamanı yönderdim. Tadı kavazımın dağcada başladı tabii tuğçe menonun teni. Zamanın sonunda vatandaşın tep vasazımda sonunda tuğun çoğaldı. Jual mevaci don poni mevaci ini sani. Tetonci me schedule etwası da çala zorlu yönü sonunda genç diyor. Tedi tadan canın zorlu şey atıyor. Pazı senin redü şada zor robotı diyor. Serin redü şivate mesaj çekin neden somcik Remazon'da şibişiyordu. Pazı üniversitesi şada çürü mobiyo ya çürü bende argome. Te ngazo dajan başladı tabii. Tuji sinan cevadı. Zomeli radin medaj. Karasıdım. Çıktı. Roa malve tedo roa madra yurisi ajiro. Tate mi çıkçı çıktı ngazo. Roa janda çosun to mahaba çeydon. To mahşiba çi. Sıra çemozu zaçımı çağırdım. Şu anda tomzeşire kaçımı çağırıyoruz.
As Himalayan, all of you have roots in the Himalayas, right? In Nepal and in the other Himalayan region. So we have a very rich culture, rich religious culture, particularly related to Buddhism. And now, since you are in a country like in the Western world, particularly in England, what is most important is to maintain the cultural identity. And if we lose it, then it's quite sad. It will be quite sad because we have a very rich culture related to Buddhism. And as you know that if you look back from 7th century, the whole kind of movement of bringing Buddhism to the Himalayan region, including Tibet, started. And from then until now, we had a very rich cultural heritage, a treasure house of knowledge, wisdom, and which is something very special and which is extraordinary, which you can't find in other places. So since you have your roots there, and it's always important, even though you are in a completely new environment like in the Western world, particularly in England, it's our responsibility, especially as younger generations, to find your roots and try to preserve that cultural identity. And when you talk about cultural identity, it is about trying to find like what our true kind of identity as a Buddhist, and what actually Buddha taught, and what lessons, what message that he has given. And particularly this particular notion about benefiting all beings, sentient beings, is something that you hardly find in other religion. So in Buddhism, there's a concept of expanding your horizon, reaching out to others, benefiting all sentient beings. This is something that you don't find in other religion. So therefore, and this is something that you need to kind of first try to understand it, the notion, the idea, the concept, and try to live with it, and in your day-to-day life. So then, you actually become a deserving kind of, that you reflect your roots. So that's so important.
Sherab Khenchen, Dewa Jing, Toju was on a bond. Mother wrong Kayo Marva, then Gazan was only when they did their Maima. Somebody give out the Megava in turning as a Deva Duhan Duadim. Taja told him. Somebody said, Gora saw the son of the that Deva Dudon, Duha Dute. Long sonne con la radio, je sais tel teni, sama zoje teni, aju sahajo ina tebje, oni me lute tai de me lute, maamba me lute to ajo, so sono gave le teni, sama give je teni, me ke chuo ko sure de teni, chaji ma thodi me lute to go ma जे ताजी कोई में बदगो भी छुई ते तमजोंदे जे कानों जो के मार कोंगो भी छुई छाद ते मोशी भी थोने ते दोमा ते शनोमा sonji रोगे तिवा चमो ले जो नोला दबदे शुरू ये ते मासो छिदो ते माशी वा छादियो ते शिव थोने ना जो नोमा sonji भी छुरा नवी तो कोंजा सोंजा ते रिजो जे तो Double judging, John, he changed the Lomu Yandin, Rogue Dowd, so much Zomet in some of them double the toina. Makades, Miss Kadas Chenayom, they tell you a child of the new change. They shaved on it of Zoe and there, Zoe the young and the ship Tony. Zoe Cono Tabeshi, sit down. They remained younger. Long so the tidy child and the son of Cavadenium. That very say one. To some of the zombie. The suggestion you told you is eating. The son target and the thing. No más one year, but Tiba River Green Semi and Doha, you also at them. To that very the son get the Georgia, now birthday, you with them. Guided that you put it in the large euro. 대도 차도요. 대동지 로존 시야든 토이나 나도 세 그야지 차도 나 노바 손집에 써야 돼. 이나 대동로 시 사케 요마. 다도지 나도 다들 이제 센데 좀 지금 에지게인 라지도 전인로서 타게되기 전에 딱 좀 가시야 로카지 단독하고 다들 지원이送了 시는데 그야만 나도 봐. 센데 좀 이제 좀 이제 투주도 자주만 지금 어떤 로에 손을 호도매와 지하심을 손을 호도매와 나도 같이 해야 르데인데 받아야지 내 자리다 이쪽으로 대야만 시기로 시선 아주 용자 지발에 그거 위치 지하려면 가서 거기에 지하는 그런 돌리면서 소만 못사요 돌이 손들면서 이나와 잡도록 먹이를 되는 손들 지하에 그거를 사지 예비를 때니 라면 사만이 돌리를 뛰어가면 로지 지하에서요 어때 론데 로지 10톤 마음만 단돈 손을 돈이 그래서 아침에 되거든 다들 주간하지 여기 이게 되는 시간지 아침에 대든지 도저 제거 제거가 차도요 다들 저러서 인지대지다 너무 손이 주 내가시 주의를 저 뉴욕 말로 제거 말로 어때 그냥 50톤이 다들 왜 이렇게 손을 돈은 그다 슈마타베 보트 손자 사진도 이거 참 여대에 나도 미 소주 제마도 그때 장치고 나왔죠. 나도 외배 소지자 저 소주에 들어 말 라마나 잡아 줘봐 던지 소주에 줘 말도 제마도 데리터 내가 뭘 가요 말로 어떤 데리지 들어자 되면 그 위치
you when you go to school or college or university, the education, modern education system, whatever you are educated, is primarily related to science. And if you look carefully, the main objective of this education is very limited. Objective is limited in the sense that it is just kind of meant for this short span of life, this short life, for the betterment of this life. And it doesn't kind of really go beyond that. In Buddhist education, what is there is the knowledge, the wisdom that is being kind of imparted there is beneficial not only on a temporal level, but also on the ultimate level, and it goes through lifetimes, many lifetimes. So therefore we have a very rich treasure of knowledge and wisdom. And it is a shame if we really are not able actually to educate ourselves, dive into this knowledge, this ocean of knowledge. So therefore, now the question is, all of us want happiness. We do not want pain and suffering. And we kind of do all that we can to achieve happiness. And we do all that we can to avoid pain and suffering. But the unfortunate thing is, despite our aspirations, despite our wishes, we don't have the knowledge, we don't have the wisdom to choose positive over negative, wholesome over unwholesome, virtuous over non-virtuous actions. So as a result of that, we say we are in a vicious cycle, wandering in the samsara, in this cyclic existence, from beginningless time till now. So it will go on like this forever, until and unless we really know or develop the wisdom that Buddha has shown us to end this cycle of birth and death. And the Buddhist education is about achieving the lasting happiness through freedom. Freedom from all kinds of fears, going beyond all hopes and fears. releasing ourselves from the grasp or the entanglements of hope and fear. So therefore, because we already have a treasure house of knowledge, it's very important that when you have time, and particularly when you finish your studies or this kind of for this life, then it's always advisable to really kind of devote some time into Buddhist studies, formal Buddhist studies, in English, or if at the best to really kind of learn the Boti language, actually which is in Tibetan language, the language which is the richest language alive on the earth, that has the treasure of what we call the over 300 volumes of what Buddha taught and what the masters who came after Buddha commented on. So we have a very rich cultural legacy, and it is for our own benefit and for the benefit of others that we take an interest in those knowledge, benefit ourselves, draw benefits for ourselves or others. And so keep this in mind and try to do as much as you can. If you have questions, you can ask, and Rinpoche said he will try to answer as much as possible.
He talked to us about each of the posters, different photos as well. So especially the main interesting one was the Wheel of Life. Yeah. So we've learned of Lord Buddha as well. So he went through each stages, and we're slowly starting to learn about how we can apply the Buddhist practice in our daily lives and how we can incorporate it in the Western life, but also not forgetting, like Guru said, about the roots. That's why we're encouraging the younger generation to come to the Gumba more often and also feel a part of the culture, not so isolated in their modern life, day-to-day life. So we're trying to encourage that as well.
Yeah, and we also had the opportunity to go outside because it was summertime. We also did a meditation session, so everyone sat outside, and it's a good session.
Our initiatives are in order to encourage the youth here, particularly of this community, to develop interest in Buddhism, its philosophy and its practice, and particularly how it can really benefit one's life, to better the quality of one's life. And therefore, Rinpoche would like to thank you both for your effort, and definitely it's not without, of course, like when you do such kind of projects or initiative, there will be challenges. So try to kind of be focused and be persistent, and try to face those challenges with an open heart, and try to do as transparent as possible, and with honesty and with diligence, and then it will go a long way. From the Buddhist perspective, we always believe that we all have the Buddha nature that is within us. The seed of Buddhahood is all within us. And each and every one of us have the potential to do better, to actually achieve the highest potential, that is the freedom and enlightenment. And for that, we need means and method, and in order to kind of uncover our true potential. And that means and method is provided by Buddhism, the teachings that Buddha gave, which we say that like 84,000 sets of teachings, various levels of teachings that the Buddha gave according to the minds and capacities, the propensities, the interest of beings. So we already have a huge kind of, as an inheritance, you can say, from our ancestors. We have this rich legacy, rich culture, rich religious kind of philosophy and practice, and therefore we need to kind of like explore this. We need to know our own kind of wealth that is with us, and that too for our own benefit, for benefit of us and benefit of others, knowing that we have the capacity, we have the true potential, then we will be able to go a long way. And particularly the very reason why we always have this yearning for happiness, that is constant within us, yearning for happiness. We want to overcome suffering, overcome pain. That yearning is like within all of us, regardless of whatever condition and situation we might be in. That very much shows that we have this potential. Because of that potential, because of having that potential, we have this yearning. And therefore, we need to tap this potential. We need to use this potential as much as possible through study and practice. And all the knowledge that we get from school doesn't mean that they are useless. Definitely, in order to develop the skills and whatever skills that is needed in order to earn your livelihood, make a position in society, and so forth, that will be there, beneficial. But when it comes to spirituality about the mind, and the expertise is in Buddhist teachings. You won't find it elsewhere. So therefore, it's always good to kind of, as and when time kind of permits, to kind of take interest in those teachings and try to live those teachings in your daily life. If you do so, then that will be very helpful for you. There's a lot of emphasis on science, in common studies, like when you go to school, at a very young age you are exposed to scientific knowledge, scientific temper. These are all important, of course, like when it comes, but the scientific knowledge can take you just as far as, like when it comes to the outer world perspective, materialistic perspective. But when it comes to spirituality, that gap cannot be fit through scientific knowledge. So the science of mind, so Buddhism offers the science of mind. And in that term, the Buddhism can has the capacity to cater to the need of the knowledge about what the mind is, what are the different aspects of the mind, how kind of to develop, how to develop positive emotions, how to kind of, response to negative emotions, how to deal with them. All this science, the skill set that is there in Buddhism, not only in terms of theory, but also in terms of experience and practice, the expertise is very much there. So now what we need is we need to take a little bit of interest in those teachings and try to understand it more. So therefore, that's the need of the hour, because this is for our own survival, for our own benefit. So apart from, the monastic colleges where extensive study, rigorous study, like years and years of rigorous study there. Apart from that, not actually, we won't find any kind of system, like difficult to find any systematic way of learning about Buddhist teachings. Even in the monasteries also, not all the monks and nuns are actually kind of into deep study. There's a lacking there. And of course, when you talk about lay people, that there's no kind of like avenues where kind of lay people can also educate themselves about Buddhism. Bits and pieces are there, but not a kind of proper structured kind of thing. So there's a lacking there. So what we need to do is like for this, particularly like related to this center, this kind of activities really help to kind of lead us into that direction of educating ourselves about Buddhist teachings, its philosophy and practice. Like as individuals, we function with our brain, Do you accept that the brain is the main thing that, an individual functions, like the driving force of an individual? Do you accept this? Or is there something else? So Ken Rinpoche is just challenging that notion that every thoughts and emotions actually that, especially when a person functions, the driving force, if it is the brain, then, how does it work? Like when a person dies, the brain is very much there, then why does that person doesn't function? What would be the reason for that? Because the person is brain dead, right? Definitely, we can sense that, if there's brain, then there's this whole kind of functioning of the sense perception, like, the eyes can see the form, ears can hear, and nose can smell, tongue can taste, and body can feel, and so forth, right? But then if you accept that brain is everything, then even when a person dies, brain is very much intact there. And then why doesn't it function? Like why doesn't kind of like the person, like at the moment of death or when the person has died, are not able to function as a person? So according to Buddhism, like of course, like the support of the mind, the brain actually functions as a support of the mind, but the brain actually is not the mind. From the scientific perspective, brain is the mind. Mind is what the brain does, right? But from the Buddhist perspective, mind is actually not what the brain does, Mind definitely is supported by the brain, but brain is not the mind. So there are a lot of discussion on that, and the differentiation is that mind is not physical, mind is not matter. Differentiation.
Supreme money.
You see two piles. Basically, as you do that, put it there. It's a smooth motion. I just put the need to just word there. Need to put it down. There's 2 feet there. You see with the left hand there.
Just sit in here and then you can take a bit.
Thank you.
Let's sit in the corner.
अहिले होइन यता यता सर्नु and then put that one there. Oh, data.
What are you doing? Let's sit on the table. Some chocolate. I'm the oldest child. Oh, you are the one? You can go next week.
Namdelengi kasur kong yormar sa kimi ni matu do kona bakun je ya
I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
Everybody namaste.
Everybody say namaste.
मेरो फोटो खिच्दैन है
Two of you, you do a good job, you continue. The rest of you, you just follow them.
फुड त के रहेछ भनेको यस्तो ल यता हेर बाबु सुप्रिम रेडी रितम sorry फोटो है ल हजुर No, Justine, wow. भेना नि आउनु भएको भयो उहाँ प्लम स्ट्रिटबाट अनि
छोराले क्विन्स
रेडी
मेरीमा लन्डनकोमा पाएको तर ऊ चाहिँ यहाँ पढ्न आयो क्या
$37
It's just like maths, Oh. I feel.
Can't hear you.
Samsara.
Samsara. I like
Wow.
that. Can you write it down, Dina? Samsara. Let's see. What about anyone else? Oh, I like that. Samsara. It's such a nice name.
Yeah.
I really imagine like a little girl. Dharma. Dharma with a da. Dharma.
Oh,
Nirvana over there. So I'm going to say the questions. Some of them are multiple choice. Some of them are just the questions. So please listen. Don't do your buzzer until I finish the question. So as soon as I finish the question, you're going to press your buzzer or shake your buzzer. And the one we hear, the first buzzer we hear, we will ask you. If you get it wrong, then obviously you don't get a point. So please think before you say. What was the name of Buddha before enlightenment? Oh, I think that was a shaker. Team Samsara? Pardon? Can we say it with anybody else? Well done. So that's a round of applause for Team Samsara. You get a point. Alright, next one. They're called. Oh, squeaky toy. What's the painting called?
Painting of Cycle of Samsara.
Ah.
No.
Have a think. Have a think. Oh, shaking. I hear the shaking. Well done. Another point for Samsara. Come on, guys. All right. This one is a multiple choice, so please think carefully, okay? Which one of the following is one of the 3 jewels of Buddhism? Or like, what's the most important 3 things in Buddhism? Is it the Buddha, the wheel, the Dharma? So that's option A. I'm gonna mess it up. Option B is it the Buddha, the lotus, and the Dharma? Or is it option C, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha? Oh, I think it's a singing bowl. Singing bowl?
Is it A?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it is.
wow.
All right. Next is said to have attained enlightenment under which tree? It's multiple choice. Oh, actually, you don't know. Oh, no. Yeah, well done, Golden Tree. Well done.
What disturbs your peace of mind? Guru was, Khenpo Sono was talking about it today. What's that one thing? Monkey minds? Yeah, that's one. No, I'm thinking of something else specifically. Go on.
I think Squeaky, sorry, I keep calling you Squeaky Doigo. Nirvana group? Nirvana group?
Yeah, what was the question?
Stress.
Again, that's one of them as well.
Material things.
Getting there. Desires. Yeah, it's at the same time. It's desires.
Remember to have peace. Don't get too competitive. Buddhism. What is karma? Is it A, state of meditation, B, the laws of cause and effect, C, a type of Buddhist prayer, or D, a Buddhist deity? Can we wait to hear the options, please? Don't do the buzzer. Prayer, or D, a Buddhist deity? I think it's this one over here. What was D? Well done. Karma is the law of cause and effect. Well done to Team Namaste. Is the most important truth about life that you need to remember? Okay, Team Nirvana.
Death always comes.
Oh, Shaker, Samsara group.
Is it the difference between happiness and pleasure?
It is, but there's something specific. Oh,
The statement. What group?
Team. Okay, Team Nirvana.
The conditions are
Oh, sorry. Sorry, were you saying it?
Happiness within ourselves.
No, sorry. Good try. Okay, go on, Conrad.
Is it the conditions are always impermanent?
Yes, it is. All conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. Nirvana, 1 point.